Alright, let's just start by showing off what time it is. Yeah, I figured I would take the opportunity to go by my rules and actually do what I told myself to do and actually get a segment done in the morning before I go to sleep. And then just worry about uploading it when I wake up. So this is the haul of stuff that I picked up with the Super Rod. I made sure to get this done before 8 o'clock the previous night. And since it is still nighttime, I'm going to try to see if I can actually get the thingus to occur here. I will show off those once I am done with this, because this is a very stupid thing to have happen. Let's see if I can pull this off. And nope, that's a Magikarp. What do we got here? Oh, here we go. Yeah. This is basically the equivalent, or it's a glitchmon of some variety. It has no name, it's male, it has no HP, it's level 0, and it's just that thing up the top of the bloody screen, and it's always shiny. So, for some reason I think it's a glitch regarding 30% encounters, and obviously since there are multiple slots, there's always going to be one slot that's just like a 30% encounter, and it's probably just that slot that has a glitch going with it, and it just causes those missing nodes to encounter during the nighttime. I'm not entirely sure what specifically causes such a glitch, but it's there. So there you go. I have now shown that off. It is very, very weird. I am not having anything further to do with that missing node out of the risk that it might crash, my game. Anyways, showing off the haul, you can look at the top screen and see where I picked them up from. Lantern can actually be found in a few places. I think you can find them in Route 34 or something like that. The Minion only has one other area where you can find it. It's a lot more common in Cherry Grove, so we'll pick it up from there. I think there's one other place you can find Crawdaunt. Seeking's around a few places. Whiscash is usually hiding around in the caves. It's apparently a swarm at Violet City as well. I don't know why that's the case. Artillery, the only other place I know of off the top of my head is Route 44. So you can always get that from there. I don't believe Relicanth shows up anywhere else. Dragonair, I think I said last time that it only shows up in the Dragon's Den. That's obviously a mistake from my end, because you can actually get it from, obviously, Ruins of Alpha, but you can also get it from a couple of areas in Kanto, and I need to pick up another one of these since you can't get Dragonite in the wild, so I'll have to fix it up. Yeah, there's the Fion, there's Politoed, Poliwrath, both of them 5% encounters. I don't know if you can find Poliwrath elsewhere, but apparently you can pick up Politoed somewhere in Kanto. Starmie, holding a Stardust, we'll have to take that off it momentarily. Sharpedo with a Deep Sea Tooth, for whatever reason. Seadra, which I didn't even know. I just sort of overlooked it and just thought to myself, okay, well, I've already got a Seadra, but turns out I obviously don't, so there you go. I would go and get another one and use the Dragon Scale on it, but you can actually find Kingdras using a fishing rod in the Whirl Islands, so I could pick it up like that. It's about as rare as Wailord, and Milotic for that matter. But it's actually slightly rarer because it's 2%, and these two are 3%ers. So that's about it. Kingdra is the only Pokemon I have left to get, and then I'll have everything that can be found with a fishing rod in the Johto region. And I'll actually be only 2 more Pokemon away from catching everything that can be found with a fishing rod, because I thought you could find Huntail and Gorobus out at Route 47. Turns out they are only found in Routes 19 and 20 in the Kanto region, so once I have those 2 in the Kingdra, I'll have everything with a fishing rod. So, Clair's Gym. And he sort of says that and just gives you fair warning, because apparently these aren't sturdy enough. But as you could probably work out, the gimmick still involves lava. In the original games, you just moved a whole bunch of strength boulders around, but in here you had to just move these weird platforms around the place. Well, it's not exactly my first battle against dragons, and I've got a dragon type in my team, so I'm pretty sure I know my fair share about dragons. They're my favorite type in the game. That's one little disadvantage that my Dragonair is going to have here, ironically, because its only dragon type move is Dragon Rage, which is not going to do much against the dragons of such high levels in this gym. So we're going to have a bit of an issue dealing with that. But on occasion we will come across stuff like Seadra and Horsey, who don't actually have... Oh, hello. Brain of Scary Face. Who aren't actually dragon types. This isn't going to be the case for Clair, of course. As you probably already know, her ace is Kingdra. Go into Floofin and see if that'll do the trick here. That's cool. Speaking of Dragonair, smack it with a superpower should put it on its ass. It does not go anywhere near putting it on its ass. In that case, I'll go into Turbo Drum and finish it off with a Shadow Ball. And here we have Gabite. Gabite easily drops dead to an ice move because it's part ground. But Hydro Pump should do just as well. So I could have sworn I was on some kind of bloody thought train when I was talking about these, but apparently I've just arbitrarily lost it. Oh well, I will just ignore that and move on if the time is appropriate. Now I believe this is done by doing this. Yeah, there we go. There might be another way to work that out, but probably isn't. Probably just the way that it works out. Probably just screws me over. But it's fine. Lead with Floofin again. See what this guy leads with. If he leads with a Seadra, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, so does this imply that this guy is going to have more than just a couple of dragon types? No, he's got a Vibrava. That's going to get swapped out for Bulbat here. I expected a ground move there, so I should be able to put on its ass with a couple wing attacks. Oh, great Parafusion, thank you. Well, it was working out until it just decided to not work out anymore, but whatever. Altaria, something as big as this, I will not have any hesitation in dropping with an Ice Beam. No reason to move on with that. Mirror Coat. Mirror Coat's a good move. It's a counter for special attacks. You know what? I'm going to take it. I have no real reason to take it, but I'm going to take it anyway. I'm going to get rid of Ice Shard. Because Mirror Coat could be pretty damn good, because Talia's not got the best special defense, but it's not... Fucking hair in my mouth. But it's not too terrible. So I feel like if it can tank a hit with like a few HP left, it can just reflect that back at opponents and just really smash them hard. So I feel like it could work theoretically, and I'll lead with her now and see if I can get something to work out here. Against a Flygon, though, I don't think I'm going to be seeing a Mirror Coat do too much. And there's that. Oh, Ice Beam was just going to do a thing. Anyways. Should I? No, I'll wait until I've knocked the gym over before doing that. I'm going to just quickly go back and heal. It's a good thing I can take these teleporters and go back and heal. It just means I have to reset the puzzles, so it's a unfortunate thing. Let me bring the team up. I might as well talk about it now. Actually, I think I'm up to Clair. Wait, where the hell is this damn thing? Hurry up. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, it has been brought up. Make sure to set my Desmume as the active window, because I actually found out why OBS stopped recording on me. Despite the fact that there quite clearly does not see... Like, there's a list of hotkeys that you can access. I took a look at this list of hotkeys and found that there was nothing bound to anything. And yet, for some reason, the spacebar still starts and stops recordings. It's like, it shouldn't be able to do this, but it does, for whatever reason. Also, this is a very roundabout way of solving this puzzle. The fact that I'm derping up is not making things any easier, but whatever. I'll go on a tangent about it. I have no real reason to. I can talk about it in the Clair fight anyway. For this playthrough, it's my third Y playthrough. This one is actually nowhere near completion. I've only got like 2 or 3 badges at this point. But I can talk about the gimmick though. This is my first mono-type playthrough. And of all the types that I could pick here, I went with Flying because I figured that was a decent start. Flying has a whole bunch of other types that combo with it and make some pretty good Pokemon out of it. So, obviously, all 6 of them being Flying type, they all have their own unique types. Unique to them, obviously. I actually managed to get a staple 4 set of Grass, Fire, Water, and Electric. My Grass type is Jumpluff. Since I dropped it back in Soul Silver in the form of Fluff Nuts, I figured it was probably worth giving it another crack, and so I stuck with it this time. It became a Jumpluff. I named it Dandelion. This name came from yet another monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Cannot reach that, actually. I think I need to do this, and then I go that, and then I go that, and then I go that, and then here we are. We're at Clair. Let me go ahead and throw a save state. And, yeah, I might as well just wait until I'm done with this fight before I go on about the rest of the team, because this is probably going to take a while. Now, who do I lead with, actually? Go with Trap Tricks. Right. Throw the state. I think that's my second save state I've thrown here, but whatever. Alright. So, once again, I've taken the liberty of seeing what she leads with beforehand, so that I get a fair idea of what I'm going to be dealing with and what could actually make for a good counter to it. So, leading with the Dragonair. Could start off with a mirror match, but like I said, my Dragonair does not have any super effective moves against her dragons, and as a matter of fact, his 3 best moves are not very effective against dragons. So I don't expect Dragonair to be very, very good. I probably should have brought Jelly Cup in, actually, as a part-time team member here, but I'm going to go with it anyway. If I can get this thing to sleep. No, I'm going to get this thing to sleep. Oh, Christ almighty. Alright, let's get the sword stance up. And just get a crunch off. If I get outsped at this point, then my sweep just kind of dies. I'm not really planning for a sweep, but I'm trying to see how much damage I can do to her team with this setup here. And as this happens, I'm getting Power Whip. Now, Power Whip is basically, yeah, it's full-on 120 physical-based move. 85 accuracy is a bit eh. In comparison to Seed Bomb, Seed Bomb is pretty powerful on its own and gets a really nice boost from Sword Stance. The only reason I want to go for Power Whip is for the accuracy bonus. And if I'm going to be honest, I think I'm going to skip out on the Power Whip now. I know where I can get Love Discs though, 100% of the time as well, and they always hold Heart Scales, and I've got like 5 or 6 of them on me anyway. So if I want to give Power Whip a crack, I can do that for now. I can do that whenever I want. For now though, I'm going to stick with the Seed Bomb, and for that matter, I'm not even going to stick with Trap Tricks leading because Salamence is going to outspeed it by an absolute country mile. Damn. Okay, in that case, I will send Talia in. Now, this is the tough part. I could go with Ice Beam because that's the safe option, or I could try Mirror Coat. If it shoots a Fire Blast and Talia tanks it, Mirror Coat will murder this thing without a shadow of a doubt. The Quick Claw can also come into play here, but now that I mention it, it's not going to. It always does when I don't, but... Alright. Let's see what she does first. Yeah, there's the Fire Blast. Tanks it like a boss. Does Ice Beam kill this thing? Yes, it does. Okay. So, I kind of expected as much. Talia's got a really good special attack against a Pokemon that's quad weak. It was probably going to only work out in one way, so I'll pull Talia back here because I don't want her to get her ass handed to her here. Now, Bulbat's Anticipation Made It Shudder implies to me that there is either some kind of electric move or an ice move on this thing. The connection of Hypnosis there is really, really nice. So I'm just going to go for a Cross Poison. If I can get a Poison here on the Kingdra, that'd be nice. Getting a lot of outspeeds here is really, really nice, actually. Cross Poison, I'm not sure if it has increased crit rate. If it does, I'll stick with the Cross Poison. It seems to do a decent chunk of damage. So yeah, there's a crit. There's that. Now, I want to hit this thing with a really, really hard attack. Because if I hit this thing with Cross Poison and it doesn't crit, the Kingdra may tank it, and then she's going to Hyper Potion up. So I'm going to try to send in Turbo Drum, and I'm going to try to hit this thing with a Thunderbolt and see if that puts it on its ass. Got it. Turbo Drum has got some pretty good special attack on its own, so that's her ace on its ass. And in comes the Gyarados. I should be able to outspeed. Okay, the Gyarados will just drop dead to a Thunderbolt. I think we've gotten past the most difficult part of the fight here. Because we've gotten rid of the Salamence. Is that a second Dragonair? I think that's a second Dragonair. Send in Bulbat. I want to try to put it to sleep and just sort of not allow it to do any sort of stupid shenanigans like Outrage. We want to put you to sleep so you can't do that. Well, if anything, it at least stopped it from using Outrage, but it's just going to start using it again anyway. So I'll hit it with a Cross Poison. I was hoping to get Poison off on that, but whatever. Oh. Did the sleep just sort of delay it or something? Because it just got confused after the one hit. Whatever. I will send Kaiser in here. Only reason I'm doing this is because it's holding the Amulet Coin. And that just allows me to get double the cash stack from it. So, yeah. Going with the superpower to put the Dragonair on its ass, which just leaves what? Is it going to be a Dragonite? Is it going to be another Pseudo Legend of some variety? What's it going to be? Oh, I forgot. The Altaria. I think she switched that out. Let's see. It is awake. Thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure that's a natural code. Natural cure, even. Going into effect there. Why should we use Ice Beam? I have no idea. Probably because it would knock Talia out anyway. Oh yeah, because there's the Flamethrower. Burn Hacks won't work on something that is more specially based. Crit, super effective. That was not... That, again, it's one of those fights that could have been more obnoxious than it was. Well, I mean, I did kind of get luck hacks out of it, to be fair. You know, to be fair, I'm really not. I'm really not ready for the Pokemon League. I will tell you right now. I don't know what the whole lazy ideals thing is. She's just an obnoxious bitch. That's the one thing I don't like about Claire. She's a dragon user. I give her props for that, but she's an obnoxious bitch. That goes without saying in the absolute slightest. So, there you go. Now that that is out of the way, we have to go and do the little quest in the Dragon's Den. Yeah, there's Kaiser. Alright, so I can use him to surf, because I totally can't use anybody else. Nope. So yeah, this place only has Magikarp. It also has Dratini in it, but it's rather rare. Not that I really need to worry about that, because the only thing I need for the collection is Dragonite, which I can't get for right now. Anyways, now I can actually talk about the Mono Flying team. I mentioned that I had a Jumpluff. I think it's a Jumpluff. I also like... this guy is very, very obnoxious. He sees me... he sees me as a stranger and immediately jumps to the conclusion that I was not invited. That I'm just, like, not welcome here in the absolute slightest. Well, you can take a hike. Indeed. There's a very good reason why you didn't pass the frickin' trial either. So you sit the fuck down, you little shit. Anyways, let me go ahead and swap the Super Rod out here for the dowsing machine while I go and look around for some hidden items around this area. Figured as much. A revive, that's always nice. That's 1,500 poker dollars saved at least. What's this? Calcium. I never sold any of those bits and bobs that I had last time, that I had picked up from last time. Don't know why that wasn't the case, but whatever. I can sell them anytime I want, realistically. Hidden item here? Yes, there is. It is a max elixir. That's nice. Alright, anyways, Jumpluff. I named it Dandelion after the monster from Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe that's about where I was when I interrupted it. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Whatever. Far be it from me to complain. Do I have to use... Yeah, I figured as much. I was kind of hoping that Dragonair would have gotten rid of that whirlpool, but unfortunately that is not the case, so I'm going to have to go and get a slave. Okay, so, Jumpluff. It's a Jumpluff. Obviously, the big problem with flying types is that they all share a generally common weakness. The one, like, majorly common weakness I'm pretty sure they all have is rock. But this thing obviously has its own weaknesses. It's not weak to electric types though, thankfully. Although I think like 4 or 5 of them are, but this one's not, thankfully. I don't think it suffered from as much of a move pool issue as Fluffnuts did it in Soul Silver. But I think it still has a little bit of work to do before it actually succeeds in that department. I'm going to go ahead and use the Shiny Gyarados as my Whirlpool slave, and I might as well go with it as my Waterfall slave as well. So let me go ahead and give it Waterfall. Because once I get the badge, I will be able to access Waterfall, and so that gives me access to the rest of Mount Mortar. Yep. Do that. Okay, cool. Now, what was it that I put away? I put away Talia. Okay. That's a good pick, I guess. Talia is the highest level. I think everybody else should have the right to catch up to her. Anyways, back we go into the stupid den. It's not a stupid den, it's for dragons. It's awesome. So, yeah, it's been going reasonably well so far. I have no real reason to drop it, aside from the fact that there's not really any other grass flyings that I haven't used. Would not have minded a Tropius, but I have used that already, so, yeah. And this is before I decided to just sort of go with the whole concept of just using eggs. So, there goes the Vibrava, so it's a 2-on-1. It's unfortunate that I missed with Sleep Powder, but whatever. I'll just sort of do this. Tail Whip to weaken its defense, and then smash it with a Crunch. That'll do. That was not overly difficult. And I think there's another trainer over here that I missed as well. Yeah, you. Again, someone else who failed to pass the trials because just comes to conclusions and is very obnoxious. Just like, dude, calm the fuck down. Liz. It's a sweep. It's a sweep. It took one more turn than it should have because Shelgon had Protect, but it was a sweep regardless. Heal you. Do I have any other healing items? Yeah, I got some super potions. That should do the trick. Shouldn't be wasting hyper potions on Pokemon that only have like 50 HP worth of damage. But anyways, for my obligatory fire type, it's a Gen 6 game, so it should not come as a surprise to you in the absolute slightest that I went with a Fletchling. At the moment, it is a Fletchinder. I don't think I've evolved it into a Talonflame yet, but it is reasonably close to becoming one. As of right now, it's been pretty decent. Dragonfang is good if I ever decide to implement... what's the move? Draco Meteor. I might do that because I don't know when you get the Dragon Pulse TM. I think you get it in Kanto. If I get it reasonably early on in Kanto, then I'll obviously teach it, but I'll have to see what happens otherwise. Anyways, going up here is going to start a bit of a cutscene, so I'm going to throw a save state here. Because as you may remember, this person puts you in a test. and you just answer a few questions. So let's see. That's a thing. I think it's strong. It's either strong or anyone. I think it's strong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that correct. Oh, wait, no, one more. Yeah. Because as you already are aware, if you get this test correct, you will get a Dratini that gives you extreme speed. And it's actually just occurred to me that I didn't even need to catch the frickin' Dragonair from Ruins of Alph. I'm a bit of a derp. Sit the fuck down. There we go. And she just runs off like a little bitch. Yeah, that's what we're doing next. Whether that be in the next segment or once I'm done here or something like that, I don't know. But we're going to get the hell out of here and we're going to go and grab the Dragonair. Oh. Really? Well, speaking of Dragon Pulse. It's a good thing that didn't break the game. I would have been very pissed off if it did. That would have been the end of the LP right there. Thankfully that wasn't the case. You might want to have a look at that Drowno. I don't expect him to actually fix up that. Professor Elm tells you he's got something. It's just the Master Ball. It's not like I'll ever actually use it unless I come across like a shiny Graveler or something like that, but whatever. That is now out of the way. We can drop the thingy off. Actually, no, I can't drop the Gyarados off yet. I actually have to drop something off in the PC so I can go and grab the Dragonair, sorry. Yeah, obviously it's become a Dragonair now instead of a Dratini. And I think it's like at level 45 or something, so if you hadn't actually decided on a 16 member yet, or if you're doing a team of 12 and are still sort of indecisive about what you want to do, free level 45 Dragonite could have extreme speed. I think that's a pretty good shout. Obviously mine wouldn't benefit from extreme speed because it's a physical move, so yeah. Anyways, yep, grab it. And if you're wondering why you would also, and if you're wondering for any other reason why you would want this Dragonair, it's holding the Draco Blade. And we're obviously going to need that, aren't we? Does this have extreme speed? Yes, it does, which means we have passed the test. And thus we are done with the Dragon's Den until the post-game when we have to just randomly team up with our rival to fight Lance and Clair. But for now, there is, I think, one other hidden item in here. In the form of a max potion. That saves me 2,500 Poké Dollars. And Dratini, obvious. And now that's out of the way, I can go ahead and fly over to see Professor Elm. He will give me the Master Ball, and I think from there I should then have access to the title. I think he should also give me the title bell. I can't quite remember where you get that from, but I'll be able to get Lugia now. I'll be able to get Lugia now, so... Okay, go down here. Uh-huh, that's cool. Master Ball, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, Kimono Girls. Cool. Since I have to battle the Kimono Girls to get the thing, it gives me a good opportunity to talk about the rest of this playthrough of the day. Because if I was going to end this segment here, I would have been in a bit of a shitty situation, having only talked about 2 of my team members. I will promptly go on to the 3rd, because there's not much to say about a Fletchinder that hasn't fully evolved yet. I'd rather reserve that for later on, when I actually do get around to knocking that file over. I used a Pelipper. The only reason I used a Pelipper is, well, aside from the fact that it's water type, you'll know in yesterday's segments I mentioned that I used a Swanner in my second Y playthrough. Had I not used it in that playthrough, I would have definitely used it here. But instead, I had to stick with a Pelican. Big Pelican. Big mouth Pelican. So, uh-oh. Did I correctly read him say 7? Damn! This is gonna take a while. Ugh. Well, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm about as ready as ever. I'm just hoping that I'm not getting a Flareon first up. Umbreon, that's fine. Level 50. I should be able to outspeed it. Toxic is annoying. Oh, no. We're not having any of that shit. Get the fuck out. Swords Dance. Case has been made painfully obvious. This is going to be some kind of annoying. Oh well. Anyways, not much to say about the Pelipper. There's not really much to say about the playthrough in general, just because I haven't made so much. Just because I haven't made that much progress in it. My electric type was an Emolga. Actually, I forgot to even mention the names. I can't even remember what I named my Pelipper. I know I named Fletchinder Forks after the Phoenix from Harry Potter. You've got... There you go, Grass Knot. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I'm not going to fuss too much over that because I'm just going to kick your ass here. Grunt you to death? Okay. You were easy. And the Emolga I used, I named Momoiro. Named after Momoiro Clover Z. Who made the Pledge of Z song from Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. Which is a friggin' awesome song. Do I have a remote advantage against this thing? Nope, it outsped me and has X Scissor. Alright. Evolution War. Kicked your ass. I can't even heal between fights. That's kind of obnoxious. Do you have Glaceon then? Yes, you do. Tail Whip. See what it does. Water Pulse. Kick its ass. So yeah. Named it after that group. Again, not much to say about it. I have a Hawlucha. Been wanting to use a Hawlucha for a while, and I finally get this opportunity to do so. Even though I've not actually done much with the file in a couple of years. That's depressing. I named it Nacho. Because it's like a luchador, like, friggin' wrestler sort of theme about it, so I just like, fuck it, call it Nacho. I wasn't thinking of Nacho Libre when I gave it that name, but whatever, it works. It's fine. Only reason I'm going to lose this Flareon mirror match is because I'm low on health, but whatever. If it's a quick attack war, that thing is hitting me far harder than it has any real right to. So I will just go ahead and hit you with a couple of tail whips. My Floof is still the best. Did I just read that correctly? Why the fuck would you learn Smog at 48? Holy shit. What are you on? What are you on? God, that was stupid. Anyways, last team member I have is a Vespiquen. It's another thing I wanted to use for a bit of a while, but I never actually had much of an opportunity to. So this one I named Miss Honey after the character from Matilda. Matilda's a friggin' awesome film if you haven't seen it yet. Do go and watch it because it is a good film. Double team. Oh, no. Oh, Earth Power didn't kill it. Bastard. That Jolteon was more annoying than it had any right to be. I don't think my Vespiquen has too many what do you call it? Unique moves. I think it's got Power Gem, but I think it's more of a physical attacker, which kind of hurts it in regards to using Power Gem. Kind of sucks that way, but whatever. Not going to fuss too much over that, but anyways, Vaporeon sits before us. It's going to tank Thunderbolts like an absolute beast. But she doesn't heal it. Okay, so I'll just sort of take that win, why don't I? Alright, so there's the title bell. That's cool. So yeah, apologies about the kind of cop-out for a playthrough for today. I hadn't made too much progress, so I knew it was going to be the case. It's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, there you go. That's all I really have to say about that. Okay, so we're done with the segment now, having 36 minutes of recording time. This is a pretty good time to stop. Next time we will be delving into the Whirl Islands. It will be Wednesday, so I will be able to pick up some Meridian Sound stuff while I'm in there. I don't know why I keep confusing Pastoral and Meridian Sound stuff. It's weird. Speaking of Meridian Sound stuff, I forgot to go get something from Meridian Sound in Mount Mortar last week. Same thing with Route 42 and Meridian Sound. I'm actually bloody salty at that, but whatever. I can just pick those up tomorrow. I'm not going to fuss too much over it. I'm probably going to see how much of the Pokédex I can complete before I actually knock the Elite Four over, so there you go. We're just going to end the segment with a phone call. Next time we're going to go and pick up Lugia. He's going to be a freaking doozy. How many? That should do the trick. 45 Premier Balls. I hope to God that will do the trick. You're going to find out tomorrow. So I will see you then.